Hey guys, it's Nicole, and for today's Sketch It Thursday video, I am featuring a sketch that was a free download from Scrapbook Generation. For about 2 years, they had a free magazine called Create, and every issue they would have a single page sketch, a double page sketch, and then a card and a tag sketch. So I would usually just go through, and every month I would print out the sketches and just put them in my sketch binder. This particular one was posted in a challenge thread on a scrapbook forum that I'm a member of, and we're kind of doing, I guess, like the summer of 6x6. So the sketches that the girls posted for the challenge were all free sketches, and they were geared more towards maybe being able to use your 6x6 papers. And I will, in the description below, I'll post a link for where you can find the Create sketches in case you want to go and download a couple. And this particular one, I changed it up a bit. The right hand side page is what I'm working on first, and in the sketch it just showed 6 4x4 photos, and then you had some area above and below the photos that was open space. I had more photos than was shown in the sketch, so I just decided to kind of do a collage over here on the right and add an additional 2 photos. And I didn't have a 9th photo, so what I did was I just decided to purposely leave the center open, and that is kind of where I'm going to have just a little place to add some embellishment and maybe the date or something like that. So for now I'm trimming down this 6x6 pattern, and these are really old papers from Simple Stories. I believe the collection was Take a Hike. I think I only purchased the 6x6 pad, and then I have a couple full-size sheets that I got from a warehouse box, but that's pretty much it that I have for this collection. So the 6x6 pad was old enough that when they were printing them, they would still print the cut-apart patterns in 6x6 form. And I loved when Simple Stories would do this, because you kind of got these sort of perfectly sized cut-aparts in order to make your own embellishments, or just kind of have little bits and pieces to sort of tuck here and there and clusters and stuff like that. And I believe that they have since changed how they do that. And I kind of wish that they would still print them, but I think now instead of the cut-aparts they include patterns from the basics pack, where it's just like the tone-on-tone colors. Here I have moved on to the left page, and for the left page I am somewhat following the sketch pretty closely. The sketch was supposed to have 4x4 pieces of paper, sort of matching with the 4x4 photos on the right. I wanted to extend that a little bit, so I believe I ended up cutting my papers down to 4x5, and that was basically just going to give me about an inch on the top and an inch on the bottom. And I just kind of picked the patterns that didn't have like extra pre-printed designs on them, and if they did, I tried to kind of cut that off when I was trimming my papers down. And then I decided to just grab some yellow cardstock, cut some thin strips, and I'm going to put those along the edges of my papers. I wouldn't say necessarily to ground them or anything. I tend to just like a border strip going across, stuff like that. I kind of feel like it makes it a little bit more finished, I guess I would say. And then the papers were feeling a little bit busy, so I decided to mount my photos on some white cardstock just to kind of help them stand out from all the different patterns. And then this is typically, anytime I'm following a sketch, I will kind of do the basics, switch things that I need to based on my photos, and then I tend to just kind of go on my own as far as like title and embellishments. And in this case I'm not doing journaling, mostly because these are not my photos. I stole these from my sister's Facebook, so these are going to go into her album. if she wants to add journaling later, she can. Typically when I steal photos from her for assignments and stuff, I will do a title, I'll send her a quick text and say, hey, do you know the date for these pictures or where you guys were, stuff like that, and she can usually give me some pretty basic information for me to have what I would call a complete layout. For my title, I had grabbed some brown thickers that I had in my stash. I thought I was going to be able to have the word grand also be in a thickers font, but these brown thickers that I had were pretty much the only ones that kind of matched the colors, but I kind of felt like they were just too big and I didn't really like the kind of wonky font, I guess. So I went through my 12 by 12 stickers and I pulled this sticker sheet. This is Simple Stories, and it's actually a travel line. It's the Urban Traveler, but when you look at different lines from Simple Stories, there's usually a couple colors that will carry over. So I was able to find the letter stickers and that label that says A Trip to Remember. The navy was a good match for the navy in the Take a Hike collection. So I was just kind of picking and choosing things that didn't necessarily coordinate with the collection, because again, I don't have any of the embellishments for this collection. So I will just kind of go into my stash and sort of see if I can find anything that will work, and I will usually try to go to the same manufacturer first, because typically the colors will overlap between collections. I know Jelly Bean Soup is another one that their colors overlap, Bella Boulevard. It kind of makes it nice when the companies sort of have the same color palette throughout their collections, and it just makes it so much easier to kind of pull from within one company. This banner that I cut out and this little card, those were again cut aparts from the little 6x6 pad. I believe if they were in the full-size print that these would have been some of the 3x4 and 4x6 cut aparts. And then I just put some wood grain enamel dots, and so pretty much for the left page I just kind of had 3 little cluster areas, and then on the right page I just have that one in the center, which I'm going to go back to here in just a second. Oh, first I was adding a couple stickers. That orange one was pretty much a perfect match. It was from an old October Afternoon collection. I also found that little brown label sticker from another October Afternoon sticker sheet. So, and I think that one of them was a camping one and one of them was like a school one, but they had the same colors, so I just kind of pulled from those. So back to the right, I was trying to make this plaid square work, and I just, for whatever reason, I could not come up with a configuration of cut aparts and how I wanted to work my cluster, and it kind of started to register with me that it was the plaid paper that was bothering me so much. So I'm going to end up trimming down one of the few 12 by 12 papers that I have, and it's the same pattern that I had used on the right. So it's just this sort of tone-on-tone trail map. So it went better with my theme. It brought over a pattern from the left, and it was more of a neutral and soft-toned pattern, which I felt went better with such a photo-heavy collage going on over here. So that was making me much more happy. And then I just kind of took some cut aparts. I decided to round the corners just to make them look maybe less like paper scraps. And then I'm just pulling from those same sticker sheets that I had used on the left. So that's an October Afternoon date label, and I just used a date stamp and some brown Ranger ink to put the date on there. And then This little take a hike circle was again from one of the cut aparts. I just took a circle punch and punched it out. And I saw that little compass sticker on an October afternoon sheet, but I wasn't liking the two circles. So then I just went with that little Happy Trails label. And then I'm going to finish it off with another phrase sticker and some more of those wood grain enamel dots. And that was pretty much it. So, and again, no journaling on this one. I kind of don't think you necessarily have to have journaling, so that was fine. And then I've got a couple photos here, close-up of some of the different areas, and another shot of the completed layout. So, as always, thanks for watching, and again, look for a link for the sketch below.